Welcome back everyone to another awesome video where today we are going to dive elbow first into the Adventure Time Iceberg. If you would like to jump right into the first layer of the iceberg, then skip to the timestamp on screen. But for those of you who have girl boss energy and can handle a minute-long intro, then thank you. I salute you. The chart that we will be using today was crafted by me, but let me give credit where credit is due. Shout out to Reddit users CrystalConspiracy and KeepReddit3, along with Racoon Cafe for creating the following charts on screen. I've taken a large portion of their entries from their charts, added some of my own, and created this. It's not the best Adventure Time chart in the world, but I think it's pretty good. And just a quick heads up before we begin, there are quite a number of entries that I did not include in this video, two of those being about the episode Hall of Egress and the Bleh magazine and Finn's Unconscious. This is purely because topics like those two I just listed are so deep and interpretable that I think they deserve their own separate videos, which I might do in the future for some other scrapped entries, but just not Hall of Egress and Bleh. As YouTuber Uncivilized Elk already made two phenomenal deep dives into those two topics, and I implore you all to check them out after you're finished with this video, which by the way, shout out to Uncivilized Elk too, because I used their channel as a source for a few of the upcoming entries. Joining me on this blazing, candy-coated slime icicle lump is my Icelandic brother Q, who will be narrating layer 2 of this chart. So if you enjoy his narration, then definitely check him out. His channel will be in the bio below, but with all that said, grab some snacks, grab some popcorn, grab some friends, unless you're like me and you don't have any, and enjoy this monstrous Adventure Time Iceberg video. Let's get started.
Oh man, I imagine my mom naked!
Non-chronological episodes. Some episodes of Adventure Time have not aired in chronological order, possibly due to the publication order being shifted, like the episode Princess Potluck, which was supposed to air right after Bimo Noir. This photo posted to Reddit by user DumbYoYo explains why that's the case. Bimo Noir aired in Season 4, while Princess Potluck aired in Season 5. Pilot. Adventure Time was a pilot created by Penn Ward. The short fellows Penn the Human and Jake the Dog on a mission to save Princess Bubblegum from the Ice King. The pilot first aired on Nicktoons on January 11th, 2007 and was pitched to Nickelodeon, but was ultimately rejected not once, but twice. Thankfully, however, Cartoon Network picked the series up after Ward convinced the network that the series had potential by showcasing an early storyboard for the episode, The Enchiridion, which also became the first episode to enter into production. If you're interested in checking out the full pilot, you could find it right on YouTube. Adventure Time Movie. Adventure Time doesn't have a movie, but nonetheless, there were discussions in the past to produce a television movie for the series, but unfortunately, as per various sources, these plans did not materialize. Jesse Moynihan, a writer and storyboard artist, revealed that around Season 5's midpoint, the team endeavored to make a 45-minute television film. However, the movie contradicted a lot of what was already set up for the series. Eventually, too many conflicts popped up and the movie was scrapped. According to Jesse, some elements of the film were recycled for the episode Something Big. Jesse also made these tweets years ago about the television movie. It had also been rumored that Cartoon Network had considered a theatrical release for an animated Adventure Time movie, but the authenticity of those rumors is uncertain. If anything, maybe a storyboard artist, writer, or someone close to the show mentioned that a movie was in very early pre-production before being completely scrapped. And by very early pre-production, I mean there was just a random discussion about a possible movie at the network, but that discussion led to nothing. Historically, Cartoon Network theatrical releases, such as the Powerpuff Girls movie for example, have not been successful, so it wouldn't be a surprise if executives shut down the potential idea as well. The Snail. In every Adventure Time episode except the Nickelodeon pilot, Food Chain, The Wand, Bimo, Obsidian, and the Frog Seasons shorts, there is a snail who can be spotted in the background waving at the screen. Initially just a recurring joke, the snail later plays a crucial role in the story when he unwittingly releases the villainous Lich from his amber prison by smashing it with his head while under the Lich's control. In the episode In Your Footsteps, the snail speaks for the first time and acquires the Enchiridion. But after the Lich takes over the body of Billy, the snail shows no further signs of possession, as evidenced in the episode Up a Tree. Ice King is Simon. If you're not familiar with Adventure Time, well, spoiler alert, the Ice King is a man named Simon Petrikov who was driven insane and lost his memories as a result of wearing the magic crown. However, in the series finale Come Along With Me, the Ice King is permanently transformed back into Simon after narrowly escaping being crushed by Golb. Adventure Time comics are their own canon. Comic book company Boom Studios published a buttload of Adventure Time comics throughout the 2010s. However, these comics are not canon to the actual series. In fact, I think they're considered secondary canon, which basically means that they're canon to the series up until they start to branch off from the plot of the show. Elementals. In Adventure Time, the elementals represent the physical manifestations of the four elements: fire, ice, candy, and slime. Additionally, there exists a fifth elemental, or anti-elemental, known as the Lumps. In Adventure Time, when an elemental dies, their soul is reborn into a new body, ensuring that there is almost always a living representative for each element at any given time. In the present-day Adventure Time world, the elementals are Princess Bubblegum, Patience St. Pim, Slime Princess, Flame Princess, and Lumpy Space Princess. Prior to them, there was Urgence Evergreen, Balthus, Chatsberry, and Slimy D. Additionally, in the Come Along With Me intro, the future elementals of Fire and Slime, X and O, can be seen, along with a future incarnation of Lumpy Space Princess. There were also the elementals of Fire, Candy, and Slime during the St. Pim era, or pre-Mushroom War era, and lastly, there are the Fire, Candy, and Slime elementals from an unknown era. There's also elementals in the comics, but like I stated before, the comics are not canon to the Adventure Time series. Abe Lincoln Assassination. This entry refers to the scene where Lincoln, the former king of Mars, sacrifices his immortality to bring Jake back to life. Subsequently, the screen fades to white and the sound of a gunshot is heard. That Adventure Time scene was quite dark, as the gunshot sound is a reference to the assassination of the real former United States President Abraham Lincoln by John Wilkes Booth. Fiona and Cake spin-off. HBO Max has officially announced a spin-off series called Adventure Time, Fiona and Cake, featuring the gender-swapped versions of Adventure Time's main characters, Finn and Jake. The show will center around Fiona and Cake as well as Simon Petrikov as they journey through the multiverse. However, the trio must also evade a formidable new antagonist who seeks to eliminate them from all existence. The series will consist of 10 30-minute episodes. While there is no official release date for the upcoming Fiona and Cake spin-off series, it was initially announced in August of 2021. As such, we can anticipate that the show's debut may be imminent. You know what, I may as well kill two birds with one stone here. The idea for Fiona and Cake originated from sketches by character designer and storyboard revisionist Natasha Allegri on the Adventure Time series. Her designs were so impressive that series creator Ward decided to make them part of the show's canon. Finn arm foreshadowing. The idea of Finn losing his right arm was foreshadowed in the episode Mortal Folly from Season 1. In the episode, Finn meditates with Jake and Princess Bubblegum and has a vision of himself as a big buff warrior with a mechanical arm. Throughout the Adventure Time series, there were additional indications that hinted at the eventual loss of Finn's arm. These include Farm World Finn, Pillow World Finn, and Shoko, a previous incarnation of Finn who also suffered the loss of an arm. Mushroom War. The Great Mushroom War was a catastrophic event that took place around 1,000 years prior to the events of Adventure Time. The war caused severe damage and led to the near extinction of the human race, leaving their society in ruins. Not much is known about the Mushroom War or the events leading up to it, except for the fact that it ended with a mushroom bomb being dropped onto the world, awakening the Lich and ending most of life on Earth. The assertion is reinforced by the episodes Finn the Human and Jake the Dog, where Finn wishes that the Lich, an outcome of the mushroom bomb, never existed. This suggests that either some country employed the power of the Green Catalyst Comet to construct the bomb, or it was an ordinary nuclear weapon that unleashed the malevolent essence upon detonation. Philface. The Philface, also known as the Rinda Mandela, is another running gag throughout Adventure Time. The face is meant to resemble Adventure Time lead character designer Phil Rinda. Pendleton Ward has stated that if you tell Phil about anything, he will create a super excited facial expression that the Mandela is based off of. The face has appeared in a multitude of episodes, like Storytelling on Mrs. Cow's Udder, The Real You on PB just before she kisses Finn, and even Come Along With Me as graffiti on the side of the building besides Joshua and Margaret's sold office. And the fill face is used to open up the Nightosphere. Gunter's foreshadowing. In the episode Back to the Nightosphere, Marceline's dad mentioned that Gunter is the most evil thing he's ever met. That says a lot coming from the ruler of the Nightosphere. While I don't believe that this moment foreshadowed the reveal of Gunter being Orgalorg, because I don't believe the Adventure Time team planned that far in advance, it's still pretty cool how the team took that moment and expanded upon it. People could also make the argument that Gunter's ability to lay an egg and give birth to a cat was foreshadowing that they were more than just a penguin too. Distant Lands. Distant Lands is a limited series of Adventure Time which comprises of 4 one-hour specials that are exclusively available on HBO Max. These specials include BMO, which narrates a story about BMO that happens before the main series events, Obsidian, which concentrates on Marceline and PB's relationship and their efforts to prevent a giant dragon from destroying a glass kingdom, Together Again, where Finn attempts to find Jake in the afterlife and destroy the new oppressive death, and Wizard City, which spotlights young Pep's journey through wizard school following the events of Come Along With Me. An interesting piece of information to note is that before the official announcement, the Distant Lands specials were kept confidential and the project was given the code name Rumblejaw. Last Scholar of Golb. In the episode Whispers, the Lich refers to himself as the Last Scholar of Golb. What that exactly means is unknown, though it's speculated that scholars are beings who follow and possibly worship Golb, the embodiment of chaos. Mr. M is Martin. Although it's not directly confirmed in the Distant Lands special BMO, it's pretty obvious that Mr. M is in fact Martin, or Finn's dad. There is strong evidence to support this idea, such as the fact that Martin's voice actor, Stephen Root, also portrayed Mr. M, and the similarities in their personalities. Additionally, the name Mr. M could be an abbreviation of Martin. Now speaking of Martin, I have a question. Did Martin commit his cosmic crime in BMO, or did he commit it after BMO? Apparently Adam Muto answered a similar question in a Q&A, and he basically said that Martin escalated his space scams gradually until he engaged in a massive con against some aliens, which ultimately led to his capture and imprisonment in the Citadel. He then explained that the reason why this event was left unexplained in the show was because it was a minor detail that did not require elaboration. I guess if we don't get a Distant Lands special that takes place after BMO that focuses on Martin, then maybe Martin being intertwined with Hugo was truly his cosmic crime. Finn is colorblind. In the episode Red Starved, it is disclosed that Finn has deuteranopia, also called red-green color blindness. This condition explains why he mistook an emerald for a ruby. Tumblr user Mariah Gem has created a series of images that illustrate how Finn perceives the colors in the land of Oo. Blueberry PB, what the hell? Typing an intro. If you listen carefully to the opening theme song, you could hear former executive producer of Adventure Time, Derek Dryman, typing on a keyboard in the section where Jake is walking. Go to very distant lands. According to Penn Ward, he recorded the lyrics for the opening title in the animatics room with a terrible microphone, and that recording was just meant to be temporary. However, later on, he tried re-recording the opening theme song, but much preferred the original with the clicking. And that, my friends, was the first layer of the iceberg.
We could rule them like gods.
Hey everyone, I'm Q, also known as Max, also known as CQH, and I'm here to narrate this beautiful, masterfully crafted layer of the Adventure Time Iceberg video ZeroOmens is putting his heart and soul into, so I hope to God I don't fuck it up. With all that being said, let's get started. Inflated season count. Adventure Time was written to have 9 seasons, but Cartoon Network split up the original season 7 into what is now season 7 and 8, technically making the show 1 season longer than intended. However, it's purely a matter of categorization. The creators or execs didn't actually increase the original episode count. Cosmic Owl based off of toilet. The concept for the Cosmic Owl actually came from the reflection off of the light onto the wall of a urinal top in the bathroom of Cartoon Network Studios. I've read this entry like 5 times out loud and it seriously never fails to at least put a smile on my face. Finn is in a coma. Some Adventure Time fans have speculated that the show might exist solely within Finn's mind, but such coma theories are cliched and unoriginal, especially in movies and television. The show itself seems to dismiss these theories in the episode Is That You?, where Jake remarks, "What if the whole world was just some goof's dream? Man, that would be so stupid." This suggests that the show's creators find such ideas to be foolish, and rightly so, as a series that only occurs in a character's imagination ultimately renders everything in the series meaningless and only serves to make one more goddamn game theory video correct in its hypothesis. Two Nightmare Princesses. The character Nightmare Princess makes her initial appearance in Adventure Time, The Secret of the Nameless Kingdom video game, and subsequently debuts on television in the episode Orb. However, her portrayal in Nameless Kingdom differs greatly from her depiction in Orb. In Nameless Kingdom, she sports grayish skin and short, untidy purple hair, and wears a black teal dress adorned with a cobweb design on the skirt, along with a black crown featuring a teal gemstone embedded into it. During her debut in the Orb episode, Nightmare Princess initially takes the form of a cloud with a solitary eye. However, as she materializes, it becomes evident that this cloud represents her head. She is depicted wearing a red dress adorned with a crown-like pattern in yellow on her abdomen. Her limbs are green in color, with her right hand taking the form of a mantis claw, while two bat wings extend from either side of her head. It's not clear whether the Nightmare Princess in the Orb episode and the one featured in the Nameless Kingdom video game are the same. However, it is worth mentioning that the Nightmare Princess in the video game possesses the ability to alter her shape and assume a larger form that bears some resemblance to the version of her seen in the episode. Alright, I'm just gonna be completely honest. I had no idea this character even existed, so like reading all of this is kind of like new to me. That was very difficult to read, Omens. That hurt my soul. Do you have any idea how many tries that took? Bueno the Bear. Pendleton Ward's early animation, Bueno the Bear, is a short 35-second clip showcasing a bear named Bueno who shares a decent resemblance to Finn and also likes to beatbox. The video also features a giraffe, which can be seen briefly walking by, and an elderly man or a wizard makes an appearance after Bueno spontaneously combusts. Fun fact, but Pendleton's Twitter handle and website are Bueno the Bear. This also took so many fucking tries to read out loud because for some reason I cannot say Bueno without popping a vein in my brain, dude. Swears in storyboards. On several occasions, individuals who've worked on Adventure Time have shared images of storyboard art that include profanity. One particularly well-known example is a drawing of Finn climbing a ladder with the caption, "Finn, dude, what the fuck?" This illustration was shared on Instagram by
Jesse Moynihan.
Finn references DMT. In the episode The Real You, Finn actually mentions DMT, or dimethyltryptamine, I think I read that right. Anyway, better known as the Joe Rogan drug, which is a very strong psychedelic found in a number of plants and animals. The following quote is from the episode The Real You. "Yes, and their brains are releasing adrenaline, dopamine, and even I'm just gonna say the Joe Rogan drug, from the pineal gland. This has serious educational value." Adventure Time video games. Multiple Adventure Time games have been released throughout the course of the series, like Adventure Time The Secret of the Nameless Kingdom, which released on November 18th, 2014, was developed by WayForward Technologies with the help of series creator Pendleton Ward for the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, PC, and the Nintendo 3DS, and follows Finn and Jake on a quest to discover the secrets through uncharted territories within the land of Ooh. Adventure Time Hey Ice King, Why'd You Steal Our Garbage, released on November 20th, 2012 for the Nintendo 3DS, and was developed by WayForward Technologies, D3 publisher, Cartoon Network Interactive, Pendleton Ward, and follows Finn and Jake on a mission to stop the Ice King from constructing a garbage princess using their trash. Adventure Time, Pirates of the whatever the
Enchiridion.
that word is, which was developed by Climax Studios, published by Outright Games, and released on July 17th, 2018 for the Switch, PS4, Xbox One, and PC, and follows Finn and Jake as they try to stop the land of Ooh from flooding. Adventure Time, Finn and Jake Investigations, which released on October 20th, 2015, was developed by Vicious Cycle Software and published by Little Orbit for the 3DS, PS3, PS4, Wii U, Xbox 360, Xbox One, and PC, and focuses on Finn and Jake becoming detectives like their parents, Joshua and Margaret. Players gradually fill the treasure room of Finn and Jake's treehouse, with treasure from enemies that they defeat by solving puzzles. And finally, Adventure Time Explore the Dungeon, because I don't know, which released on November 19th, 2013, was developed by WayForward Technologies with the help of Pendleton Ward, was published by D3 Publisher for the PS3, Xbox 360, Wii U, 3DS, and PC, and is a top-down isometric hack-and-slash dungeon crawler, pretty similar to games like Diablo. I just got like an Italian accent, like reading that for some reason. Players can collect treasure, upgrade the stats of various playable characters, interact with NPCs, and purchase goods. Adventure Time Flash games. In addition to its numerous video games, Adventure Time has also seen the release of multiple Flash games on the Cartoon Network website, as well as some mobile releases. While discussing each of the games separately would take a considerable amount of time, I will provide a concise list of most, if not all, of the Flash games that I have been able to locate. Adventure Masters, Adventure Time Game Wizard, Adventure Time Heroes, Adventure Time Battle Party, Adventure Time Legends of Ooh, Big Hollow Princess, Adventure Time, Jesus Christ, I'm losing track of the word Adventure Time it's everywhere, hold on, let me just start over. Okay, so there's Adventure Masters, Adventure Time Game Wizard, Adventure Time Heroes, Adventure Time Battle Party, Adventure Time The Legends of Ooh, Big Hollow Princess, a Monopoly edition of Adventure Time Run, Real Adventure Time Trading Cards, Adventure Time Magic Man's Head Games, Adventure Time Puzzle Quest, Avalanche, BMO The Adventure Time Cartoon Network app, which houses some of the games I'm mentioning, BMO Blitz, Blind Find, Bloons Adventure Time Tower Defense, BMO Snaps, Bravery and Bakery, Break the Worm, Jake's Tough Break and Cake's Tough Break 2, Candy Scramble, the Card Wars app, Drama Bomb, Phytosphere, Finn and Bones, Finn and Jake's Epic Quest, Fiona Fights, Flambeau's Hot Mess, Flambeau's Infernal, Frosty Fight, Game Creator, which that was my personal favorite when I was younger, Jesus. Jumping Finn, Compy's Castle, Lemon Break, the Minecraft Adventure Time DLC, the Munchkin card game, Mushroom Commando, Neptune Out of Control, One Sweet Roll, Rhythm Heroes, Righteous Quest and Righteous Quest 2, Rock Bandits, Royal Ruckus, Ski Safari Adventure Time, Sound Castle and Sound Castle 2, the Everything Burrito game, These Lumps, Time Tangle, and Treasure Fetch. I've probably played at least 70% of these, and I am not kidding. I used to live on the Cartoon Network site and play Flash games there for an endless amount of time during my early childhood, and seeing these names really does bring some happy memories back. Adventure Time characters have also been featured in games such as Battle Crashers, Fusion Fall Heroes, Lego Dimensions, Multiverses, Project Exonaut, Snow Brawl Fight, Splashback, and TKO. My personal favorite of these being TKO. Mother Gum introduced in video game. Although the Mother Gum appears in episodes such as Simon and Marcy and Bonnie and Nettie, it also plays a role in the video game Adventure Time Explore the Dungeon because, I don't know, where it's hidden underneath a Candy Kingdom. The Candy Kingdom's dungeon walls were penetrated by the Hive, which inadvertently freed some inmates. Princess Bubblegum then dispatched warriors to apprehend them and probe the source of the disturbance. Later on, she recognized that the Gum Hive was responsible, but by then it was too late to prevent the warriors from destroying it. The Gum Hive became unsteady and eventually turned into bubbles. Finn's sword's name. In the video game Adventure Time Hey Ice King, Why'd You Steal Our Garbage, it is disclosed that Finn's primary sword in the series, the Golden Sword of Battle, is actually named Scarlet. Tree Trunks was supposed to stay dead. The original plan for the episode Tree Trunks was to have the character explode, but the creators were told by Cartoon Network executives that it would be too dark for young viewers. However, in the My Two Favorite People DVD release, the scene of Tree Trunks in the Crystal Dimension was not included. Finn's past lives. It's revealed in the episode The Vault that Finn's past lives were a catalyst comet, a butterfly, a glowing pink blob, and Shoko. It's also shown that Shoko's tiger is a past life of Jake. Sunny. Sunny is the name of a non-playable character featured in the game Adventure Time Finn and Jake Investigations. Sunny was the result of a contest to create a new character exclusively for the video game. The character is a collector of rare and magical items and uses his lantern of infinite treasures as a compass as he explores the land of Ooh on his own. Gay gladiator ghosts. Andy Ristavier, a former lead character designer, writer, storyboard, and background artist on the series, confirmed that the ghost gladiators featured in the episode Morituri T. Salutamus are actually gay couples who were forced by the Fight King to kill each other. What solidifies this fact even more is that the ghosts are seen walking in pairs when they leave the arena. Treehouse Woman Painting. This entry refers to the existence of a ripped painting of a woman who seems to be undressed in the treehouse. However, it is unveiled that the woman in the picture is not entirely unclothed. In a scene from Adventure Time finale, when inside Bemo's mountain house, the missing piece of the torn painting is found, and it displays the woman being covered. Some fans speculate that Marceline may have hung it up, as the treehouse belonged to her before Finn and Jake took it over. Pendleton Ward left during Season 5. Sometime during the 5th season of the series creator Pendleton Ward stepped down from running the show. According to him, his position negatively affected his quality of life. However, he continued to work as one of the show's writers and storyboard artists until the end of Season 6, and still served as an executive producer up until the series finale. According to an interview with IndieWire prior to the debut of Season 7, head writer Kent Osborne mentioned that Ward had stopped writing episode outlines as the beginning of the 7th season, but continued to look over them and provide input. Anyways, everybody, that's all I got for you guys this time. Unfortunately, I was not and am not drunk as of the writing and editing of this script, but if you want to see what that looks like, you can check out the layer 2 of the April Fool's special Sandwich Iceberg on ZeroOmens' channel. However, if you're just interested in me and what I have to offer, you're welcome to check out my own channel, CQH, where I make videos on basically anything at this point. Anyway, thanks for having me on here, Omens. As always, remember that I love each and every one of you. Now go away.
No punchies! I am in control!
Adventure Time Regular Show. Boom Studios published a 6-part crossover comic series titled Adventure Time Regular Show, which was written by Connor McCreary and illustrated by Mattia DeMio. The story revolves around the land of Oo, which is threatened by a new villain, prompting Princess Bubblegum to send Finn and Jake on a perilous mission to find the power that can save their land. Surprisingly, Skips from Regular Show is in possession of this power. But Finn and Jake's arrival only serves to intensify the ongoing tension between Mordecai and Rigby. As they make their way back to Oo, the journey risks tearing apart 2 pairs of brothers permanently. This isn't the only time Regular Show has crossed over with Adventure Time. A giant blue jay voiced by J.G. Quintel is seen and heard in the Adventure Time episode Catch Up. And in the Regular Show episode See You There, there is a character at the party dressed pretty similar to the Ice King. Uncle Grandpa cameo. Finn, Jake, Gunter, and Princess Bubblegum appear in the audience in the Grampy Awards segment in the episode Pizza Face. Brawlhalla cameo. Finn, Jake, and PB make an appearance in the fighting game Brawlhalla. Besides character cameos, Brawlhalla also received an Adventure Time themed map and KO effect. Farewell Pat, good luck in New York, come back soon. In the episode Heat Signature, the ghosts can be heard chanting some pretty unusual gibberish, but upon playing the audio in reverse, it is revealed to be a backmasked message directed towards Pat McHale, the creative director of the series. The message from the ghost states, "Farewell Pat, good luck in New York, come back soon."
Farewell, Pat. Good luck in New York. Come back soon.
This is because after the show's 2nd season, Pat, his wife, and fellow filmmaker Ji-wook Kim moved to New York. Say goodbye. In the episode Hooks, during Finn's dream, Jake utters a phrase in reverse before taking a photo. Upon reversing the audio, it is revealed that Jake said, "Say goodbye."
Say goodbye.
Now, there are several theories floating around the Adventure Time community regarding the meaning of "say goodbye," but the one that appears most logical to me is that it foreshadowed Finn bidding farewell to his biological father, Martin, in the episode The Comet. Mo, connections to Mars and fire giants. During the episode The More You Mo, The Mo You Know, it is revealed that Mo supposedly developed plans for the creation of the fire giants, as evidenced by the fire giants being constructed in the background outside of his office window, and the schematics on his desk. Those particular fire giants bear a strong resemblance to the ones located within the Fire Kingdom. Additionally, there is a blueprint next to the fire giant sketch that bears a striking resemblance to the Mars colony. So, did Mo design the Martian bubble? Since Mo is like 1,000 years old, is it possible that these fire giants were just military robots for the Mushroom War? Did Mo want to send these giants to Mars? Well, look, there are a lot of theories. YouTuber Uncivilized Elk made a whole video discussing Mo and his possible connections to Mars and the Fire Giants, and I highly recommend checking it out if you want to learn more. While you're at it, check out the comments below their video as well, because a lot of viewers have left their own personal theories and ideas, and some of them are pretty good. Simo in Pahoy. At the start of the episode Pahoy, when Jake drops pillows on Finn, Bimo also tumbles onto Finn's head, and subsequently, Simo falls onto Bimo's head as well. Adventure Time Chronology. Created by Jagam, AdventureTimeChronology.com is an incredible website that presents a comprehensive timeline and chronology of the Adventure Time multiverse. It's an excellent resource for those who want to delve into the details of the show's lore. If you're interested in learning more about the intricate world of Adventure Time, be sure to visit the site. Original Finn Dad Reveal. Storyboard art for The Lich episode suggests that the initial plan was to unveil Finn's father as a warrior who was unjustly banished to the Crystal Citadel and remains locked in battle with the inmates. Steven Universe Easter Eggs. In the Steven Universe episode Sadie's Song, in the pile of Sadie's stuffed animals, one of them bears a striking resemblance to Gunter, and in the Steven Universe Uncle Grandpa crossover episode Say Uncle, Finn's name is on Uncle Grandpa's list. Bubbling Fiasco. Now, I'm not 100% positive if this is what CrystalConspiracy was referencing when adding the Bubbling Fiasco to their chart, but this is what I found on Wikipedia. Apparently there was a storm on the internet after the episode What Was Missing was released. What Was Missing caused controversy due to its alleged implications of a previous romantic relationship between Marceline and PB. The controversy was sparked by a mathematical recap video produced by Frederator Studios, which suggested the existence of a lesbian relationship between the two characters and revealed that the show's writers sought fan input. This incident was addressed by the show's executive producer, Fred Siebert, who acknowledged that they went too far in trying to involve the audience and got caught up in fan speculation and artwork. The video and the entire channel were subsequently removed from YouTube. The decision to remove the video sparked further controversy, with some arguing that the episode handled female queer desire in a complex way and that the studio's handling of the situation was detrimental to the acceptance of queer romance in children's television. The show's creator, Ward, later gave a neutral response, stating that he did not want to comment on the matter due to the extreme positions taken by people on the internet. During a Barnes & Noble book signing event for the Adventure Time Encyclopedia in August of 2014, Olivia Olson, who voiced Marceline, revealed to fans that according to the show's creator Pendleton Ward, Marceline and PB had previously been in a romantic relationship. However, the show was unable to address the relationship directly within the series due to broadcasting restrictions in certain regions that discouraged same-sex relationships. It wasn't until the series finale Come Along With Me, which aired on September 3rd, 2018, that the relationship between Marceline and PB was officially confirmed when they shared a kiss. Now, as previously stated, I cannot confirm if this is what CrystalConspiracy was referring to, but according to the information on the wiki, the bubbling fiasco apparently started after the episode What Was Missing was released. I wasn't an active member of the Adventure Time community when this episode was released, which I believe was like 2011, therefore my knowledge on this matter is limited. But I did find a response to the bubbling fiasco from the director of the episode recaps and Adventure Time fan videos for Mathematical, Dan Rickmers. This was taken from his Tumblr, if any of you guys would like to pause and read for yourselves. Simon is immortal. In Come Along With Me, Betty made a wish to ensure Simon's safety, and in the Obsidian special, which takes place years after the finale, Simon appears to have not aged at all. Additionally, in Together Again, Simon was not seen in the dead world, so it's probably safe to assume that Simon is immortal. Finn likes the taste of human flesh. In the episode Her Parents, it is revealed that rainicorns eat soy people instead of real human flesh. Ethel explains that since humans are believed to be extinct, rainicorns have never tasted real human flesh. However, soy people are said to taste just like human flesh and are considered to be delicious. Soy people appear as smiling balls of dumpling paste marinated in soy sauce. Finn initially hesitated to try it, but ended up enjoying it, according to his smile. Clarence cameos. In the Clarence episode Belson Sleepover, Jake appears in Belson's bookshelf. In the episode Where the Wild Chads Are, a parody of the opening theme song plays on the TV. In the episode Ren Fair, a woman is shown wearing a PB costume, and in the Clarence short Claw Machine, there is a Finn plush in the Claw Machine. KingofOo.tumblr.com. During the Apple wedding episode, the King of Oo shouts KingofOo.com as he breaks out of his prison cell. Previously, this web address would redirect users to the Cartoon Network's main page. However, it's possible that this phrase is also a nod to the King of Ooh Tumblr page, which serves as a blog for the Adventure Time team. And that, my friends, was the third layer of the iceberg.
I'm gonna take a nap while you grow out your fingernails.
James Baxter. James Baxter, known for his smooth animation work for Disney and DreamWorks, guest animated a couple of Adventure Time episodes, James Baxter the Horse and Horse and Ball. In those episodes, he played a horse, also named James Baxter, who was able to cheer people up just by balancing on a beach ball, and becomes a source of inspiration for Finn and Jake. Tree Trunk's children. It is established that Tree Trunks and Mr. Pig are the adoptive parents of Sweet Pea, but it's worth noting that Tree Trunks had a romantic involvement with one or possibly more aliens, resulting in 5 hybrid children who now reside in space. Wow, that's just fucking creepy. Ice King dementia. Ice King is portrayed as having an illness which causes him to experience memory loss, confusion, and delusions. While the show doesn't explicitly state that he has dementia, his symptoms are often associated with the condition. His condition is obviously due to the curse of the crown. Gunter's original offspring. So we know that Gunter is the parent of a magical floating kitten with a heart on its forehead, but originally, one iteration of the episode storyboard proposed that Gunter's offspring would be a combination of Ice King and a penguin. Showrunner Adam Muto initially drew a glowing kitten, but Thurop Van Orman, a former crew member, suggested that the idea of an Ice King penguin hybrid would be a cool gross out moment. Despite initial enthusiasm for the concept, the network ultimately vetoed it, and the offspring reverted back to being a kitten. Prismo's boss. The character known as Prismo's boss is mentioned solely in the crossover episode of Adventure Time. Prismo warns that his boss would hold him accountable if the Lich and Farm World Finn were to succeed in their plan to create a portal connecting to the multiverse. However, the identity of Prismo's boss remains a mystery. Some fans suspect his boss to be Gulb, some believe that it's the Cosmic Comet, some say that it's Pen Ward himself, and some believe that Prismo's line about his boss was just a throwaway, or perhaps a way to give Prismo's puzzling existence some context. There's also a theory about Prismo's boss being a deity called Malice, who is a character seen on the other page of the book Simon was reading in Come Along With Me. It's pretty safe to assume that Malice is a cosmic being just like Gulb, since they're featured in the same book, and also you can see Malice's hand peeking out from a portal in the sky, similar to the one Gulb used to enter the world in Come Along With Me. This character greatly resembles the image of an entity supposedly identified with the name Abraxas. Maybe Malice is the counter to Gulb? But if that was the case, then why didn't he stop Gulb and Come Along With Me? It's funny that I mentioned the word Abraxas because in the episode Bespoken For, Life-Giving Magus had a note on his desk that read, Abraxas, spelled with an I instead of an A, a phone number of 121-337-E2OL, and a date of Monday at 8 p.m. It would be pretty odd if Magus just casually had the phone number to a god, but then again, he can create life with the power of his hands, so we might be diving a little too deep into this entry, but those are just some ideas. Maybe you like them, maybe you don't, and that's totally okay. Scrapped episodes. There are quite a few scrapped episodes of Adventure Time that never saw the light of day. However, some of these scrapped episodes and outlines that I'm going to list have elements that were recycled and reused for real episodes. Those scrapped episodes were The Gloriers, and the synopsis reads, Finn and Jake try to save a man-horse stagecoach that's being attacked by Greywhack and his gemstone demons. The Gloriers, their names on screen, arrive to fight off Greywhack. Finn joins the Gloriers to satisfy his lust for exotic battle, temporarily leaving Jake behind. However, Finn soon realizes that helping his friend is more important than glory. The storyboard for this episode was later released on Frederator's blog. Brothers in Insomnia. Finn and Jake return home exhausted and try to get sleep. They then hear sounds that lead them to a miniature village under the roots of their tree fort. However, to fit inside, Jake has to shrink down to a tiny size while Finn can only fit his hand inside. They attempt to save the Dewdrop people that live there from a root monster, but are hindered by the fact that Jake's too tired to keep his shape, while Finn is distracted by cows licking him. Frederator also posted the storyboard for this episode. Several elements were reused in Season 2 episodes like The Eyes, The Real You, Power Animal, and Little Brother. Jake Suit. The episode, judging from the image above, seemed to be about Finn wearing Jake as a suit to pretend to be a wizard, and they befriend a farm girl. Finn and Jake end up working at the farm and have to defend it from a greedy alien leprechaun. Obviously, the Jake Suit concept was reused in the episode The Silent King, and I think they might have brought it back one more time, but I can't remember exactly what episode it was. There was an outline for an episode called A Princess Potluck, which ultimately turned into the episode Princess Potluck. Another scrapped episode is called Boxcars and Bindles, which would have been about Finn and Jake finding some homeless people on a train. Diamond Jim, which is known due to some story notes being posted on Frederator's blog. From the looks of the story notes, it seems like BMO gets his memory erased and Lady Racoon also rides a horse, which of course was recycled for the episode Mortal Folly. There's a scrapped episode called Hand, about Finn and Jake trying to stop someone who freezes people with his touch. Jakeless was a preliminary outline for an unproduced episode about Jake flying too close to the sun and losing his powers. One Hot Worm, which would have been about Finn completing a real old-fashioned quest. Pink and Proud was a scrapped outline about PB trying to become less girly. There was a Season 6 episode known as the Basil Twist episode that was intended to involve a collaboration with designer, director, puppeteer, and MacArthur Fellowship recipient Basil Twist. The episode concept was conceived in 2013, but did move beyond the early development stages. The Helmet of Thorogon was another episode outlined for Season 1 that never made it to the storyboard phase of production. The synopsis reads, Finn and Jake stumble across a field of delicious-smelling flower creatures. However, a giant tells them that only beings with large noses can smell the flowers. Jake grows his nose in size, but Finn is unhappy since his nose is still tiny. The giant tells Finn that a half-bird, half-man named Thorogon has a helmet that can help, so Finn searches for his temple. The Knight and the Werewolf was another scrapped episode outline. The episode would have been about Finn trying to prove his heroism to PB and Marceline. The Malteser Penguin is an unproduced episode written and storyboarded by George Major, who was invited by the writing staff to design a future episode. The episode made it as far as storyboard testing until the series was announced to end with its 9th season, later retitled to Season 10. The Mumbling Man is a scrapped episode outline, which is about Finn trying to teach people not to be prejudiced, but in the process learns that he's prejudiced himself. And finally, The Tower of Bone, which was about Finn stopping the Mutog beasts from freeing the Lich King and killing everyone. These were all the scrapped outlines that I could find, but there's probably tons of others that are yet to be uncovered. Jake's Death Comic. In honor of Adventure Time's finale Emmy nomination, Steve Wolfhard shared a headcanon through an illustration. The artwork depicts Princess Bubblegum using the expanded body of Jake, who has tragically passed away, to fill the missing piece of Earth. As stated, this is only a headcanon, but it's pretty incredible, especially coming from somebody who worked on the show. We Bear Bear's cameo. In the episode My Click, a scene from the Enchiridion is shown playing on the television in Chloe's house. Furthermore, Chloe's mother is voiced by Nikki Yang, who previously worked as a storyboard artist on Adventure Time and also voiced characters such as Lady Racoon and BMO. And during the episode Charlie's Halloween Thing 2, the bears undergo a temporary transformation and take on the appearance of Finn, Jake, and Ice King from Adventure Time, with Tom Kenny reprising his role and humorously portraying the character as if he was in the wrong show. Bonnabelle Bubblegum Gas Station. This entry refers to the sorrowful story of the gas station showcased in the episode Bonnabelle Bubblegum. While PB scours the premises for spare components, there are indications which suggest that the gas station was once a haven for a family, most likely an uncle, an aunt, and a niece, who were trying to survive after the Mushroom War. The station's walls are decorated with drawings and messages, bodybuilding posters, and other clues, leading many to believe that something terrible eventually happened to the family. One could reasonably conclude that either the aunt, uncle, or both ventured out to procure food when the gas station supplies dwindled. Before leaving, they inscribed "Be back soon, XOXO" on the wall. However, it's probable that they never came back. A message that reads "Please come back" is written underneath, presumably written by the young girl. Additionally, there is a scene in the episode where a skull with hair similar to the young girl shown in this photo is seen, indicating that she likely met a tragic end. Her family might have survived, or maybe they perished as well. I would like to make it very clear that the gas station story is subject to different interpretations. This is just my perspective. Your interpretation might be different, and if it is, let me know in the comments below. King Worm Chronology. For those who need a refresher, after Finn and Jake return to their treehouse in the Season 1 episode Evicted, King Worm and his little worm subjects hypnotize the duo, and in the Season 4 episode King Worm, Finn and Jake have to find a way to stop King Worm and escape their dream. This entry might be referring to the ambiguity surrounding whether the episode Evicted immediately follows King Worm, or if King Worm had influence over Finn and Jake during the early seasons of Adventure Time. However, it is reasonable to conclude that King Worm does not immediately follow Evicted, as it would not make sense for Flame Princess to appear in Finn's dream, since he doesn't meet her until the Season 3 episode, Incendium. Additionally, Finn only learns about the Lich in the episode Mortal Folly, which takes place after Evicted. Based on this, it seems likely that King Worm did not have control over Finn and Jake for an extended period after Evicted, and only came back in Season 4 to mess with them again. Now, it's possible to argue that the King Worm episode was intended to hint at the Lich and FP, but it raises questions as to why they were not in chronological order or why it took until Season 4 for the episode to air. Now, I do know that some Adventure Time episodes did not air in chronological order, but personally, I find it difficult to accept this argument and would instead lean towards my previous statement being accurate. Food Chain is semi-canon. Despite the episode being considered non-canon, the episode Food Chain has been referenced twice in the series. In the episode The Cooler, Finn and Jake are seen singing the Food Chain song, and in the episode Flute Spell, Finn drinks from an enchanted spring and envisions Jake turning into his purple bird from the episode. So, semi-canon, I guess? I don't know. The Lich original design. Apparently this was the original design for the Lich, and I'll be honest, he doesn't look as scary as his final version. He kind of reminds me of my grandmother, if I'm being honest. Unseen Reincarnations. It seems that this entry suggests the existence of numerous other versions of Adventure Time characters, including Finn and Jake, that have yet to be explored. In the Distant Lands special Together Again, we witness Finn and Jake's impending reincarnation, but the identities of their future selves are left unknown. While it's possible that they could be reincarnated as characters like Shermie and Beth, those characters only appear 1,000 plus years after the events of Adventure Time's finale, and I doubt that Finn lived for hundreds and hundreds of years. If I had to guess, I'd say he probably croaked in his 70s, 80s, maybe even 90s. And if Adventure Time takes place in the early 3000s, and Finn did happen to pass in his 70s, 80s, or 90s, there's still like 900 years before Shermie and Beth show up. Unless time moves slower in the Dead Worlds, I really don't know. Oh, you know what? Maybe when Finn and Jake are reincarnated after Together Again, they reincarnate together like a bunch of other times before they get to Shermie and Beth. I'm obviously pulling conclusions out of my ass here. But yes, there are unseen reincarnations that we have yet to see from our beloved characters. Marcy's Super Secret Scrapbook. Martin and Olivia Olsen, who are father and daughter in real life and also voiced the characters Hudson Abadir and Marceline at Adventure Time, co-wrote the book Adventure Time, the Enchiridion and Marcy's Super Secret Scrapbook. The book provides a comprehensive history of Marceline's life, including her time with Simon and her transformation into a vampire after the Great Mushroom War. OK KO Let's Be Heroes cameo. During the special episode, Crossover Nexus, Jake makes an appearance as one of Red Strike's victims seen in the background of a building. Later in the episode, Ben mistakenly transforms into Jake after Red Strike's powers reconfigure his Omnitrix. Towards the end of the episode, Ben transforms into multiple characters from other Cartoon Network shows, with Finn from Adventure Time being his final form. Runic Code. Sometimes Adventure Time includes secret messages written in a runic code. For example, in the Video Makers episode of Adventure Time, a secret message is visible on the pitcher that Finn uses to pour drinks. The message appears to read this on screen in Anglo-Saxon runes, but at one point in the animation, it appears to change to the rune for A. According to series character designer Andy Restaino, the correct translation of the message is Cup of Many Ales, although the S is not visible on the picture. The same Cup of Many Ales also makes appearances in other Adventure Time episodes, such as Card Wars and High Strangeness. While the alphabet in the series is indeed runic, some characters are used improperly. An example of the usage of the Thorn character is seen where it is used in place of a P. However, originally, this character was used by Germanic tribes to represent the TH sound. And that, my friends, was the fourth layer of the iceberg.
Baking pancakes, making bacon pancakes.
Lich, Hudson, and Simon knew each other pre-Mushroom War, so I believe the following entry refers to a theory, that was shared by Tumblr user Adventure Time Conspiracies. The said theory proposes that Simon, Hudson, and the Lich were acquainted with each other prior to the occurrence of the Mushroom War. A corresponding illustration features Simon, Hudson, and an unidentified individual whose silhouettes are shown to represent the Ice King, the Lich, and the demonic form of Hudson. However, this theory has a lot of flaws. For starters, the illustration provided was made by a person on DeviantArt, and not from a person who worked on the series. The character in the middle could literally be anybody, and also, the theory mentions that Hudson bit Marcy and turned her into a vampire, which isn't true because number 1, Hudson is a demon, not a vampire, and number 2, Marcy was turned into a vampire years into the future by the Vampire King. Also, from my understanding, Simon summoned Hudson to take care of his daughter before he went completely insane. And according to Marceline's scrapbook, Simon did not learn about Hudson until years after the bomb dropped. Adventure Time references in The Simpsons. In the Treehouse of Horror 25th episode, the final story features several Simpsons family parodies, such as South Park, Despicable Me Minions, various anime, Lego, and Adventure Time. Homer, Marge, Bart, Maggie, Lisa, and Santa's Little Helper are dressed up as the Ice King, Princess Bubblegum, Finn, Fiona, and Jake from Adventure Time, respectively. The opening of Adventure Time was parodied in the couch gag of the season 28 premiere of The Simpsons, titled Monty Burns' Fleeing Circus. The couch gag was called Simpsons Time, and featured Bart as Finn and Homer as Jake. Penn Ward also participated in the parody version of the opening theme. Emissary from Beyond. The grass demon who overtakes the Finn sword refers to himself as a curse, an emissary from beyond, some kind of grass octopus spider. Villainous Lemon Grab cameo. The show Villainous on Latin American Cartoon Network features Black Cat as the main character, who hosts Villains for Villains, a show where he reviews villains from other Cartoon Network shows. In an episode called The Lost Cases of Ooh, Black Cat reviews Earl of Lemongrab and deems him a weak villain because of his appearance, whiny demeanor, and inability to defeat Finn and PB. And then Black Cat later concludes that PB is more villainous than Lemongrab. Flame Princess is half human. So there's a decently popular fan theory that suggests that Flame Princess is half demon and half fire elemental, and the evidence to prove this theory is that her father or family don't look similar to her in the slightest, and she resembles a human figure. The theory also suggests that the gem on her forehead may be the reason for her fire elemental powers, and that her father was afraid she would be exposed as a human if the gem was removed, which is why she was originally in captivity. However, that last part is complete bull. Flame Princess was kept in captivity because her dad did not want her to overthrow him in the future, and also PB told him to contain her. Even so, Flame King never cared for her safety in the first place, since he first tried to abandon her in the forest when she was just a baby. Now, obviously, we do not know who Flame Princess's mom is. Maybe she's human. Now, how Flame King and a human potentially did the hibbity-dibbity is beyond me, but stranger stuff has happened before in Adventure Time. You know, like Marcy's human mother getting freaky with a demon. Jesus Christ, what is happening? As for Flame Princess's family not looking like her, well, maybe the Flame King got around, you know? I guess until we learn who FP's mother is, this theory is just up in the air. Fries incident. This entry refers to the incident that took place many years ago when Hudson Abadir decided to eat Marceline's fries, which made her very upsetty spaghetti. Reddit user MooForce Shoelace summarized this tragedy in the best way possible. Her dad is a jerk and treats her poorly, in an unthinking and uncaring way. Specifically, she bought some french fries and she really wanted them, but her dad just ate them instead. Her father in general seems to care about her and wants what is best for her, but at the same time doesn't ever consider her feelings and generally acts whatever way is most advantageous to him. It's a way to give her a backstory and character motivations, but without necessarily having to be all grim dark about a father that beat her or something. It's a silly and trivial trauma that fits with the world and characters of Adventure Time. It is to show her father never cared about her and was often walking out on her. I've seen some fan theories which suggest that Hudson ate Marcy's french fries before she turned into a vampire, which I do agree with because Marceline is known to only eat the color red, not french fries. Maybe food was hard to find during the first few hundred years after the Mushroom War. And let me tell you something, I'd be pissed off too if someone ate my only source of food after an apocalypse. Glass Animals. There is a track by the band Glass Animals called Season 2, Episode 3. That references the Super Porp Cola from Adventure Time. The specific line reads, "Laying on your belly with a Super Porp Cola." Flying Lotus Song. Musician Flying Lotus, who is pretty close with Adult Swim, even creating tracks for the network, had worked on a song for Adventure Time entitled About That Time, A Glitch is a Glitch, which was used for the end credits of the episode, A Glitch is a Glitch, which is just one of the scariest f***ing episodes of Adventure Time ever, and I would just love to cover it in a dedicated video. I don't know, let me know if you guys want to see that. Animation error made canon. In the episode Jake the Dog, Farmworld Finn puts the ice crown on and just makes like Frank Reynolds from Always Sunny in Philly and starts blasting. Bang! Bah! While blasting, Marcy runs back to the cave where Farmworld Finn stole the ice crown from Simon's corpse. Except the crown was still there on his head. It's most likely that whoever animated this scene just reused the same background from the previous episode, Finn the Human, but forgot to edit the crown out. However, this animation error was later made canon in the Season 7 episode crossover when Prismo took Farmworld Finn's crown and edited it onto Simon's body so that when the bomb does go off, it destroys the crown, which is such a wild way to fix an animation error, but I'm glad that the creators did it. Willow Smith. A song titled Marceline, which is based on the aforementioned character in Adventure Time, was created by Willow Smith and included in her album Artopithecus. 3 years after the release of the song, Willow had the opportunity to voice Beth in the series finale Come Along With Me. She also sang the theme song for the episode too. Greensleeves. Credit to Uncivilized Elk for creating a whole video on Greensleeves and explaining their interpretation of what the tune could mean. During the Adventure Time Elements episode Skyhooks, Marshmallow can be heard humming the tune of Greensleeves, a traditional English folk song that explores the theme of unrequited love. The song is about someone feeling sorrowful after being turned down by the person they love. Throughout the Elements storyline, Marshmallow remains constantly by PB's side as PB assumes the role of the hub for all Candy life. And since PB is no longer preoccupied with governing a kingdom, she can spend more time with Marshmallow. However, if Bonnie is inextricably linked to all Candy life and Candy is a part of her, the concept of intimate or romantic relationships becomes irrelevant. It completely erodes the distinctiveness of the close emotional bonds that previously existed. It is hypothesized that Marceline may subconsciously yearn for the previous connection that she shared with PB before the events of Elementals. This idea is conveyed through Marshmallow's humming of the song Greensleeves. Further reinforcing this notion is the fact that Marshmallow's attire closely resembles the one she wore in the episode What Was Missing, during which she performed the song I'm Just Your Problem, conveying her desire for a more profound connection with PB. Take a look at this lyric from the song. Sorry I'm not made of sugar, am I not sweet enough for you? This show is so fucking deep. Fire Elemental in Pilot. I believe this entry is in reference to the giant fire monster first shown in the Adventure Time pilot created for Nickelodeon. And that, my friends, was the 5th layer of the iceberg.
Dang, girl, if you weren't a figment of my imagination, I'd want to have your baby.
Scientific parasites. The land of Oo is home to a class of organism known as scientific parasites, which feed on intelligent brainwaves. It's common to find them inhabiting the pockets of doctors and scientists, like PB and Dr. Princess. These parasites have been around since the Mushroom War, as evidenced by Simon Petrokov's possession of one in his jacket pocket. Lemongrab, North Korea. This entry refers to the striking resemblance between Lemongrab and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. Given the similarities, it is plausible that Lemongrab was intended as a parody of the real-world dictator. After all, Lemongrab's insatiable appetite in the episode Too Old leads him to consume all of the Lemon Kingdom's food, causing him to become grossly overweight. Much like Kim Jong-un. Pups 1000 plus. After more than a millennium has passed since the conclusion of Adventure Time, pups, a hybrid species resulting from the union of Jake and Lady Rainicorn, continue to flourish. They have established their own pup kingdom, which is believed to be governed by Gibbon, the immortal offspring of Charlie, with speculation that Beth may have previously held the position of ruler, though this has not been confirmed. PB's future imprisonment. There is speculation that the individual imprisoned in the icy mountains shown in the intro of Come Along With Me is Princess Bubblegum, potentially captured by the Ice Thing. Additionally, rumors suggest that the person observing through the spyglass is Marceline, who may be on a quest to locate her. Come Along With Me Intro Mysteries. Come Along With Me Mysteries likely refers to the world and the characters from 1,000 plus years into the future, which were introduced in the intro of the final Adventure Time episode. Mini Elf Kingdom. Situated within Finn and Jake's treehouse, the Mini Elf Kingdom appears to have originated as the hole housing Jake's covert recruitment button, but over time, a group of elves took up residence and transformed it into their dwelling. The settlement is decorated with festive Christmas lights and mushrooms. Futurama cameo. During the 7th season of Futurama, in the episode Leah and the Jeanstalk, there is a scene featuring Finn and Jake suspended from the ceiling, their arms bound by chains. As Bender descends the stairs, Jake asks, "What time is it?" To which Bender retorts, "It's time for you to shut up." For those of you who do not know, John DiMaggio is the voice actor for both Bender and Jake the dog. Speaking of Futurama, in the Adventure Time episode Everything's Jake, Billy West, the voice actor of Fry, Zap, and Professor Farnsworth, made a guest appearance as Dr. Eric Adamkinson. Interestingly enough, the character is depicted as being physically older than his own father, much like the relationship between Professor Farnsworth and his Uncle Fry. Additionally, Finn's appearance in one scene, with spaghetti noodles hanging out of his mouth, bears a resemblance to the character Dr. Zoidberg. In another scene, a metal helmet sort of resembling Bender's head can be seen below the painting in the treehouse. Deadpool watch. In the first Deadpool movie, Deadpool is seen wearing an Adventure Time themed watch, which is really cool and I want it right now. Like, what cereal box did he get that watch out of? Because I'll drive to the store right now, I'm not even joking. Bravest Warriors Connections. Created by Pendleton Ward, Bravest Warriors is an animated series that is set in the year 3085. It tracks the adventures of 4 teenage heroes for hire who traverse the universe, employing the potency of their emotions to rescue cute extraterrestrial life forms and their planets. Some fans have speculated that there are a few decent connections between this series and Ward's former series, Adventure Time. So it's no secret that Adventure Time takes place in on Earth in roughly the early 3000s, and it is confirmed that Bravest Warriors takes place on Mars in the year 3085. In Bravest Warriors, Mars is overcrowded, but in Adventure Time, Mars only has one dome. So it's possible that Adventure Time came before Bravest Warriors. However, in the Bravest Warriors episode Ultra Wankersham, when the Emotion Lord teaches Chris how to see the future and he has that visual, if you pause at the right time, you could see an image of Earth with what appears to be a chunk of it missing, but there's a glitchy effect over it. In Adventure Time, the Earth already has a chunk missing from it. So this could either mean two things. Either one, Chris is getting a vision of the future of the mushroom bomb going off, or, and you might want to sit down for this is an image of Earth's crater being filled in. I saw a theory online about how the humans might have developed new technology after returning to that was capable of filling in the missing chunk of Earth, and what we could be seeing in this image is the Earth being filled in. Though I should preface, nothing is confirmed. Channel Fredrader made an entire video diving into the specifics of this theory, and I would highly recommend checking it out if you want to learn more. But just a disclaimer, the video is like 6 years old, and some of the points made in the video are not true anymore. South Park cameo. In the South Park episode A Nightmare on FaceTime, in one scene, a trick-or-treater dressed as Finn can be seen in the background. Jake the Brick original outline. During a game of Exquisite Corpse, Tom Herpich created a doodle featuring Finn offering a brick-shaped Jake a sandwich along with a brief plot synopsis involving Kim Kil-hwan. However, when it came to creating the Jake the Brick episode, the original synopsis was altered. It has been mentioned previously by some Reddit users that the initial idea for the episode involved Jake becoming a brick in KKW's home, although there is limited information available online to corroborate this claim. Nonetheless, it wouldn't be shocking if it turned out to be accurate. Adult Swim reruns. Adventure Time was unexpectedly aired by Adult Swim for a brief period of 1 month in February of 2019. However, it was soon discontinued without any explanation. Heathcliff. In the December 3rd, 2017 Heathcliff comic strip, Jake is seen with a crowd of notable cartoon dogs at a Dogapalooza. Other references. Here are the rest of the Adventure Time references in other media that I could find. I'm probably still missing a bunch of references, cameos, collabs, etc. So if you know of any other Adventure Time references in other media, let me know in the comments below. Adventure Time has been featured in Mad Magazine, an online forum and game site called
Gaia
Online, Jimmy Kimmel Live, as well as the Mad animated series on Cartoon Network. Finn is a playable icon in Geometry Dash. There are Adventure Time costumes in the Latin American Cartoon Network game Tunics. In the mobile app Word Box, there is a lemon grab Easter egg. There is a lemon biome that is described as being an acceptable biome. In the background for the iOS game Jemmy Bears, a book on the shelf in the background has the Adventure Time logo on it. Tyler, the creator, referenced the show in his 2011 song Yonkers with the lyrics, "I went home and watched Adventure Time." He also references the show in the song She later in that album with the lyrics, "We can begin the pretend game, I want to be Finn from Adventure Time." Sonic Pulse's 2012 album Longer Than Life features the song Adventure Time, which is a cover of the opening theme song. Zero released a song in 2013 called Princess Bubblegum, along with fan art that shows a swimsuit class PB. Chiptune artist Cubby's 2013 album Gas Powered EP was declared by the band to be inspired by Adventure Time and Bravest Warriors. Unfortunately, the cover art for 6ix9ine's 2018 mixtape Day 69 features the Candy Kingdom in the background, and the cover artist, Matteo Ranini, was accused by Tumblr user Cryptid Spoon of tracing over their artwork of Flame Princess. Nobody likes a snitch. There are Adventure Time themed clothes that Xbox users can purchase for their avatar. There is an achievement in Minecraft called Adventuring Time, and it can be unlocked by discovering all of the game's different biomes. In League of Legends, Jinx's dance animation is a direct reference to the dance Jake teaches the dancing bug in the episode Power Animal. In the 2D fighting game Skullgirls, the character Philia has a color palette that resembles Fiona. On December 3rd, 2014's broadcast of Kids Week Jeopardy, Adventure Time was the answer to a question in the category CTV. In the Flash episode Plastique, Cisco Raymond wears an Adventure Time shirt depicting pixel art of the main cast. In the Mayo Mayo Heroes of Pure Heart episode Popularity Contest, while Mayo Mayo is trying to become more liked by the kingdom, his friends have him try on several outfits, including this one similar to Finn's. Again, I probably missed a bunch of other references, cameos, collabs, etc., so if you know any other Adventure Time references in other media, please let me know in the comments below. Enchiridion Original Title Card. The Enchiridian's title card underwent significant changes, initially being a grim and bloody depiction before evolving into a cheerful and optimistic design. It's pretty apparent why the creators opted to alter the Enchiridian's title card. I mean, look at this! Jesus Christ! Anyways, that, my friends, was the 6th layer of the iceberg.
You stay away from my woman, my sandwich.
Martin Ring of Fire promo. The pirate featured in the promo art for Ring of Fire is the same pirate from the Min and Marty promo art who saves an injured Martin after his encounter with the Guardian. I think a lot of people at the time were expecting Martin to make an appearance in this episode, but obviously that didn't happen. Instead, we were gifted with the most sex-mad episode to date. But if you've seen Ring of Fire, then you know that at one point, Tree Trunks was a part of that pirate crew, so maybe Tree Trunks met Martin after being rescued, or maybe Martin was saved by the crew before Tree Trunks became a pirate. While we're on the topic of Martin being injured, there is a theory that suggests Martin may have suffered brain damage as a result of being hurled into the ocean by the Guardian. This would explain why he's such a big a character throughout the rest of the series. Well, then again, he was always an asshole, so maybe he truly doesn't have brain damage. Lich Hand in all universes. In the episode crossover, Finn's grass arm severs the Lich's hand that was clutching onto Jake. Afterwards, Jake hurls the detached hand into the dimension pool, causing it to replicate and scatter across every universe in the multiverse. It remains uncertain whether the Lich's hand brought destruction upon those alternate realities or not, but I prefer to imagine that those universes are inhabited by other valiant heroes akin to Finn who are prepared to vanquish the Lich. Life's dad. In the Adventure Time short, The Gift That Reaps Giving, Life makes a reference to her father, who is a character that is never seen on screen. Specifically, Life indicates that she can use a device in her dad's garage to play the CD that was gifted to her by Death. So, who is Life's dad? Shoko Arm Trade. During the episode titled The Vault, Shoko reveals to Princess Bubblegum that her parents traded her arm for a computer. Interestingly, promotional artwork for the episode portrays Shoko's mother exchanging her daughter's limb for a laptop, and the recipient of the arm appears to resemble Ash, the former boyfriend of Marceline. Jake's grandson killed Turtle Princess. During the introduction of Come Along With Me, there is a character by the name of Gibbon, who is Charlie's son and the grandson of Jake. Gibbon has a gem, which is believed to be from the ice thing, replacing one of their eyes. This gem is the reason why Gibbon is seen 1,000 plus years into the future. It's simply because the gem grants him immortality. Gibbon is seen shooting at the ice thing, and according to a theory, the reason for the animosity between the two is that Gibbon murdered Turtle Princess, who was previously married to the ice thing. But why? I have no idea, man. I got nothing. Jealousy? Greed? Your guess is as good as mine, man. Beavers. At the conclusion of the episode Wizard, Cartoon Network censored a joke in which Finn, Jake, and some wizards had their nudity concealed by beavers. In the broadcasted version, their bodies were covered by wooden planks instead. It remains unclear why the network chose wooden planks as the preferred censorship method between the two options. I'm happier this way. During the sequence in Come Along With Me, where the characters are in the dream realm, and Gumball flees, a note can be seen in the lower corner which reads, "I am happier this way, Chiclay." I think this might imply two things. Either Gumball may feel regret about Chiclay's transformation back into Crunchy and may have been trying to convince him that Chiclay is better off in that form, or it's referring to Princess Bubblegum's justification of having to keep her relatives as candy people for centuries. Season 1 and 2 Oddities. So Seasons 1 and 2 of the series contain several elements that are either not revisited or were quietly retconned. Examples include Jake's power to manipulate reality through his imagination in the episode Rainy Day Daydream, the magical abilities of Finn and Jake as wizards and ice ninjas, the magical pool that Jake claims to have derived his powers from in The Witch's Garden, and the Gumball Guardian's power to halt time, which is never used again in the series. Fibonacci sequence on Enchiridion. On the back of the Enchiridion, you can find the numbers 8, 13, and 21, which are part of the Fibonacci sequence. This is a sequence where each number is the sum of the previous two, such as 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, and so on. There are a couple of theories regarding why these specific numbers are included on the back of the book. One idea was posted on Reddit by user Early to Craft, and they basically said that the numbers 8, 13, and 21 are the pages needed to create a character in Dungeons & Dragons 3.5. 8 is the ability section, 13 is the race section, and 21 is classes. Plus the word Enchiridion translates to handbook, and they believe that the book is a player's handbook from pre-war times with reference numbers on the back. I also stumbled across a Reddit thread discussing how the 8, 13, and 21 may be the date of when the Mushroom War began, which would have been August 13th, 2021. Now, there is zero concrete evidence that either of these two ideas are true. In fact, there are a lot of other interpretations that I didn't even list. However, I believe that either of these two ideas are plausible, as the Mushroom War took place roughly 1,000 years prior to Adventure Time, which would have been around the early 2000s. Penward is also a big fan of Dungeons & Dragons, so this could totally just be a D&D reference too. Primordial monsters. The earliest beings to exist were the primordial monsters, who originated before there was nothing. After space and time came into existence, these monsters, like Orgolorg and Konkentepe, wreaked havoc across the universe. You know, until Orgolorg got turned into a penguin and Konkentepe died. And that, my friends, was the 7th layer of the iceberg.
You can have anything you want.
I wish for a sandwich.
Maggie the Vampire Spoon Thing. At the start of Adventure Time airing, the community on 4chan's cartoon board reached a consensus that Marceline resembled a spoon. This inspired someone to create an original character named Maggie the Vampire Spoon. The character gained immense popularity to the extent that even Natasha Allegri created fan art of Maggie. Original Jake is dead. According to CrystalConspiracy, at the end of the episode Jake the Star Child, Jake is stuck on a planet near a black hole with a belt on. In the original aired order, Finn rescues him at the end of Temple of Mars. However, the order on HBO Max, which has its own numerous other errors, has Jake the Star Child after Temple of Mars and after Bananas. Additionally, the Jake at the end of Temple of Mars is missing the belt and doesn't mention anything from Jake the Star Child after that point. So did they rescue the wrong Jake? I mean, food for thought. Personally, I don't believe that they rescued the wrong Jake and this was just an error on HBO Max's part, but it's a really interesting idea. Fresno Nightcrawler. The blank-eyed girls in the episode of the same name closely resemble a cryptid known as Fresno Nightcrawlers. Now, Fresno Nightcrawlers are pretty much in the same ballpark as the Loch Ness Monster, Mothman, Bigfoot, etc. They're a species that hasn't been truly proven to exist in the wild. The story of the Fresno Nightcrawler began in 2007 when a Fresnan, who identified himself only as Jose, brought surveillance footage of his front lawn first to the Univision television station, then to paranormal investigator Victor Camacho. Since then, there have been numerous stories and videos claiming that these little bastards are real, and God, they look cool. Finn incarnation in the beginning. Now, I'm not 100% positive if this is what the entry is referring to, but my guess is that CrystalConspiracy believes that Finn was previously a primordial monster before he became a comet. Now, I don't think this is really true, but there is a human-looking monster in the primordial sea that looks similar to Finn. You know, if he was covered in butter and deep-fried. Again, not 100% if that's what they're referring to, but I figured I'd give this one a shot. Hanbo's Red. I believe that Hanbo's Red refers to the fact that the stuffed animal was originally a brighter shade of red but faded over time. In the episode I Remember You, Simon gifts Marcy with a brand new Hanbo. When Finn and Jake are transported into the mind of Marcy by Ash in the episode Memory of a Memory of young Marcy with a dirty faded Hanbo is seen. Although there was a previous theory that Marceline may have drained his color, this is unlikely as she did not become a vampire until later in her life. And as you can see by the flashback in Memory of a Memory, Hanbo has seen better days. Therefore, Hanbo's color faded because it's just an old toy. The Cosmic Imagination. Better buckle up, princess. This one's deep. The cosmic consciousness or mind or imagination is not a character or a person. It is the collective imagination of all beings in the universe or multiverse. According to Adventure Time chronology, in the very beginning, reality exists as a chaotic sea of monsters. Beings such as Orgolorg and Kunkuntepi and the Lich reside in this writhing mass. By incomprehensible chance, the monsters eventually come to a common agreement on the state of reality, and this consciousness becomes the multiverse. According to an ancient tome called the Enchiridion, the multiverse is therefore not actually material. The multiverse is an emergent product of consciousness rather than consciousness being an emergent product of the multiverse. Every sentient being that lives in the multiverse paradoxically maintains its existence by experiencing it, and this also means that every sentient being has an existence beyond the material known as their soul. The following is a quote from the Enchiridion. "Third orb does not exist," said the sage. "Why?" asked the student. "Because the multiverse," said the sage, "within which third orb exists, does not exist. The multiverse is a consensus reality shared by minds of all sentient beings. If they were to die, the multiverse, as such, would suddenly blink out of existence, vanish, be no more. Why?" asked the student. "Because," said the sage, "there would be no one to perceive it." Like, basically, Jesus Christ, the best way that I could word this is that reality isn't real. YouTuber True Loco Weirdo made an excellent video, literally earlier this month, explaining the lore of the cosmic imagination, and I would highly recommend checking it out if you want to learn more about the clusterfuck of the cosmic imagination in just 4 minutes. Finn 1000 plus. Racoon Cafe came up with this entry, and it's pretty incredible. Basically, within the Finn sword lies a copy of Finn's consciousness, and this version is more or less identical to the original Finn. The only reason why Fern was so different from Finn is that the grass demon corrupted the little Finn. So in theory, there should still be a copy of Finn's consciousness within the sword that Shermie picked up 1,000 years into the future. And if Shermie is indeed a reincarnation of Finn, then it's pretty wild to see him holding and meeting one of his past lives. And that, my homies, was the 8th layer of the iceberg.
Down feathers of a baby griffin. That's illegal.
They were on drugs when making the show. Like, I doubt that Penn was under the influence of any substances while creating Adventure Time, and same goes for maybe a majority of the cast. Maybe Penn and the team just have a very expansive imagination, but hypothetically, if they were on anything not harmful, then it's not our place to judge it. Cosmic Owl in Rick and Morty.
Oh my god, Cosmic Owl, he made a cameo in Season 5 premiere of Rick and Morty.
Yeah, the Cosmic Owl made an appearance in Rick and Morty. The Pillow World's Fate. I mean, listen, man, your guess is as good as mine. Maybe it was real, maybe it was a dream. Sometimes when I'm laying in bed after an hour-long crying session, I sometimes like to imagine that the pillow world truly existed, and when Finn encounters Gulb after his death, he essentially engages in a transaction of equivalent exchange. You know, maybe Finn desires to regain his former youth and life, and in exchange for them, he trades his memories of the pillow world. Now, what the hell would Gulb want to do with his memories? Beats me, man. I don't know anymore. Advertising only likes Season 1. It appears that the PR team behind Adventure Time took great pleasure in alluding to memorable moments and catchphrases from the show's first season, such as Finn's gold sword and the popular slang, mathematical. According to Jesse Moynihan's speculation, this was a deliberate attempt by the PR team to promote Adventure Time as a consistent and dependable show, even though the show's creators often pushed the boundaries and pursued innovation. Humans are extinct. This entry refers to the fact that there are 0 humans shown in Adventure Time 1000+. Now, despite the fact that the humans did make their way to Ooo and come along with me, it's possible that the human race either migrated away from Ooo again, or maybe migrated to an area of Ooo not shown in Come Along With Me. Or, and this is the sad possibility, maybe humans are no longer around. Or maybe they went to Mars, baby. Wait, LSP did what now?
I didn't wait infinity for a dip in the kiddie pool. We're taking this to the deep end.
Yeah, that's enough of that. Adventure Time predicted Bird Box. You guys remember that stupid movie that came out like back in 2018? I think it starred, what's her face, Sandra Bullock or whatever, and like the people couldn't go outside unless they were blindfolded. It's such a dumb movie. Did people really like that? I never got the point of it. Anyways, Hall of Egress did it first. Adventure Time 1967. Adventure Time was a Canadian children's adventure television series which aired on CBC television in 1967 and 1968. This Adventure Time series has nothing to do with the Cartoon Network original. I just saw Adventure Time 1967 on one of the other iceberg charts I found, and I don't know, I just thought it was really funny. We're in the shitstorm of the iceberg now, so I'm just kind of giving you random stuff now. The real Adventure Time was the friends we made along the way.
Shut the fuck up, Sanguinet.
And finally, the deer. No, I'm not. I refuse. And that, my friends, was the final layer of the iceberg.
Glass of milk. This feels like a trap designed by some kind of sick genius.
Well guys, that about wraps up today's video. Big thanks again to Q for narrating a layer of this video. His channel will be in the bio below, and special shoutouts again to CrystalConspiracy, KeepReddit3, Racoon Cafe, and Uncivilized Elk. Hopefully my video plays a part in keeping the Adventure Time community alive, and hopefully inspires people to make their own iceberg charts and videos on the series as well. If you guys enjoyed today's video, do me a favor, leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're brand new around here, click the bell icon to be notified on whenever I upload a brand new video, follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and join my Discord server. Links are in the bio below. Have a fantastic day, everyone, and remember that ice isn't real.